So today Logan, Taylor, and I had a meeting, and the purpose of the meeting was we wanted to talk about Sarasota. So Debbie, which became a hurricane by the time it hit the Panhandle area of Florida, came through here and did a lot of flooding. There's a tremendous amount of sitting water still in Sarasota. We are expanding our company from here into Sarasota, and and we're learning as we go, because that's part of the reason that we're doing what we're doing here, is we're kind of documenting what we're experiencing. So far, been advertising fairly heavily on Facebook and on Google Ads. We are not going to advertise on Craigslist and stuff like that, because we just spinning our wheels. The people on Craigslist and that typically they're looking for things to get done for half the price, and it's not that we're not competitive, we're just not half the price. Unfortunately, and fortunately for you as a customer, if you get the job completely done properly, you don't get sued, you don't have some workman's comp claim, something crazy doesn't happen, catastrophic, somebody that's not supposed to be in your property demoing, who does more damage than he does doing demo, and costs you a fortune to repair the things that he hurt. So those are things that, they're expensive learning lessons that go into this business. And, you got to have the right structure. You got to have the right things in place to make sure that doesn't happen. So my question to Logan and Talon was, what we've done is we are advertising like crazy right now, both in our current marketplace and in the Sarasota marketplace, which is, Manatee County, DeSoto County, Sarasota County, and Charlotte County. So we are advertising like crazy. Now, remember, most of our business comes from word of mouth. So that's contractors referring us to other contractors. We stepped into the concrete business not too long ago, and we stepped right into it, and we did like $250,000 this year so far on concrete cutting. So these are things we weren't doing before, and we were referring it out to other companies, and we decided to step up and buy the right equipment and stuff like that, and we've been real successful with it. So what I did is I said to Talon and Logan, I said, what could we go into here so that we can keep all 20 of our hands-on crews? When I say 20, we got 20 vans. We really got like 23 vans, but we consider that, with vans being down for maintenance and brakes and whatever, engine blow-ups, whatever, we typically have about 20 of them available. So what we wanted to do is run as many of these crews as we can during our off season. Our off season is when everybody's heading this way. The complete off season for everybody is the tail end of August, September, and October. It's just dead down here in Florida. There's just not much going on. Right now we're in the dead heat of summer. It is hot and it is humid and it is no fun. So I go to Taylor and I go to Logan and I say, okay, what can we go into? What can we expand into? What are we missing out on that we wouldn't have to buy very much equipment, and we wouldn't have to have much more sophistication than we currently do? And I brought up doing, putting in docks, putting in the lifts and stuff that I see some of these companies doing this, and they're really far out in business. The sophistication level is very similar to what we do, and we're not too excited about that. Too complicated. And then if the guys do it wrong, we're going to have warranty issues and stuff like that. So what we like to do is we like to stay away from things that are, people are going to come back in 2 years and say, hey, my caulk cracked around my countertop. It's the silly stuff that you deal with when you're building stuff. So Talon said, hey, we have farmed out a tremendous amount of asbestos stuff this year. He said, why don't we do that? And I'm like, all right, that's great, because we wouldn't need any more equipment. all we would need is different respirators, and the guys would wear these little suits when they're doing the asbestos stuff. We've watched the companies that are coming in and doing the asbestos remediation for us, and they're not very sophisticated. They don't move very fast. They're not very professional. And we thought, man, we could bring a whole lot of that to that business. So wow, that was a, bing, the light went off. So we looked at that, and then we also looked at possibly expanding into the concrete cutting business. We talked about where we were getting our concrete business from, and it's primarily just from our own clients we already have. So we just say, hey, they say, well, then after I'm done with you guys, we're going to have these guys come in and do the plumbing. They need to cut the floors and and we say, oh, well, we could do that now. So now we're trying to educate everybody and let them know that we're doing the concrete cutting, and it's working. So $250,000 worth of jobs in a year. That's a good small business for most people. So those are the things we're talked about. I've had comments coming in from Sarasota, people that are watching the vlog, and they're saying, hey, there's all kinds of interior demolition work that's going to need to be done up here. And I agree with you. That's probably going to happen, and we add value, and we have a great impact when we come in and do work. So we just need to get found up there more. And between Google Ads and Facebook, I don't think you can get more powerful than that. If there is something else out there, I don't know what it is. So what I've been doing is, because I'm a novice at the Craigslist, or not the Craigslist, but the Google Ads and the Facebook Marketplace, or Facebook itself, just marketing. So I spent about an hour and a half yesterday on the phone with, well, actually it's on a Zoom call with a Google Ads expert, and he's helping me walk through a bunch of things. And he's been doing that about every 2 weeks with me now, and I'm getting better and better at that. And between looking at that and looking at watching some of the successful guys that are on YouTube and emulating what they're doing, I honestly think we're doing it. I think we're doing it pretty well. I'm not saying I'm doing it as well as somebody that's been doing this for years, but I'm getting better at it, and I've immersed myself in it, and I'm spending an hour to 2 hours inside of those two things, and I'm getting very familiar with where things are and why you're doing this and why you're not doing that. And we've got nice commercials. The commercials cover everything that we do. I think it's a pretty nice setup. So for Sarasota, let's pretend like we're building a house. So we're building a foundation. So it's going to take some time to build a foundation up there. What we don't want to do is carry a building in the wrong location during this time. We have done this before. We can service Sarasota from here for a period of time until we have enough business to man it up there with somebody who can closely supervise it. So that's what we're doing, just to make sure that we don't burn a lot of money. We're also, if you listen to the news, you listen to everybody, we're in a declining market. Expanding in a declining market, all that means is you're just going to have to work a little bit harder. That's the way I see it. I feel very confident that once people use us in that marketplace, and we have done several jobs up there already, just so you know. We just have the capability of doing a whole lot more. We have the capability of doing 10 jobs a day up there, and we're doing one every couple days, and so it is working. It's just not working fast enough. Nothing ever works fast enough for me. So that's what we're dealing with there. The other thing we talked about is I've got a lot of history doing real estate stuff. I did really well with it until they changed all the rules around 2007, 2008, and we have quite a bit of real estate. And I was talking to Logan about maybe we should find some new funding sources and tap into that. So far, we've been burned by partners so much. I don't know, Logan was a kid, but I've been burned by partners so much that I really don't like partnerships. So borrowing money from the banks is a pain in the butt. What we would like to do is build spec homes here, and getting maybe doing some owner finance kind of stuff, and then building the house and then selling it and then paying the owner a little bit more and so on and so forth. So anyway, I see that happening. I think I'm going to put a little bit more energy into that. I don't know that we're going to hit the ground running in Sarasota, although because of all this flooding, we may end up hitting the ground running up there, because there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of houses that are flooded, and they need to be gutted out to remodel them. So anyway, this is Remove It Pros Demolition. We have the Remove It Pros Junk Removal. The book's going to be out shortly. And we also have the Remove It Pros Pure Entrepreneur, which is this site. And this is vlog number 54. And we're rushing our way through until we get to 100 vlog episodes. And you might say, why? I'm going to say, because Russell Brunson said so. No, I'm just kidding. So Alex Hormozy, Russell Brunson, Daryl Ives, they all say until you do about 100 videos in something, you're just not really going to be very good at it. So there's some other things I'm going to do here. I'm going to take this little thing that I'm doing here. This is in the corner of a lanai area that I enclosed after the hurricane. And it's got windows everywhere. And because they are hurricane windows, it knocks down the noise quite a bit. But I think I'm going to move this back into the room behind me and put up some sound stuff and get a better backdrop with some books and things like that and our logo. So anyway, that's what I'm planning on doing. It's Remove It Pros Demolition. Tomorrow we're going to do a day in the life of a demo guy, and it's going to start with me at 5 o'clock in the morning getting on those Google ads. So I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.